And isn't that kind of sad?
One of the other big lessons of your work is the importance of mastering saving money. And I had always made the mistake of thinking about making more money. I got to make more money in order to have more money. And you really switched my thinking to focus on saving. Can you talk about why saving is so important versus the obsession with making more?
Well, so much is just what you need to be happy and content. And for someone, I've always felt like my level of savings, since I don't need that much to be happy. My wife and I live a good life, but not a very materially flashy life. So we don't need that much to kind of check the boxes in our life. And so I feel like that can be a superpower for your savings. If if you need $10,000 to be happy, but I only need $1,000 to be happy, like I'm getting way more out of that savings than you might. And so once you realize that that gap between expectations and reality is like like supercharging your savings, then it has a totally different feel. And so this is especially true when I was younger, where saving $100 or $1,000, that made an extraordinary difference in my life. I think the wealthiest I've ever felt was when I had $5,000 in the bank. And I remember just feeling like it was such an unfathomable amount of money at that phase in my life. And I look back at it now, where that's a less meaningful amount of money to me now than it was back then. And isn't that kind of sad that like that made me feel so rich? I remember waking when I had $5,000 and just being like, I can't even fathom how much this is. And now I don't get that feeling with that kind of money. And isn't that kind of sad? That's what happens when your expectations kind of spiral up. So the idea that the power of your savings is completely dependent on the expectations of what you have and the lifestyle that you want to live, I think is a pretty powerful idea.
How do you switch the focus, though, from this obsession of making more to understanding the importance of saving?